Hello everyone, welcome, or welcome back. You are listening to Unfiltered with D and G, as in Dan and George. I am George, this is my co-host Dan.
And I want to say cheers to episode number 9.
Episode 9.
Man, we are flying through this.
Yes,
cheers. Oh, that's good. Good stuff. Went down smooth. See, I gotta add up real quick. I just checked my Instagram photo, and I got 2 likes. And if I was a hot chick, I'd have like 3,500 likes by now. And I was only up there for about 12 minutes. But still, the difference between men and women on Instagram. You know, I'm just an average guy, but even an average chick gets, I don't know, 300 likes probably per every 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do I kill myself or do I move forward? I will move forward, but still, 2 likes. Shout out to 2 people. I gotta give a shout out. My cakes. Thank you, baby. Cakes is great. And second one, hey, Petey. Shout out to Petey. Thank you for liking me. Oh, one just came in. Nah, Pete's a great guy. Appreciate it, Pete. Cakes 2016 and strut that. Thanks for the likes. Love you back. Thank you. So, everything is a scam. It's sickening.
Well, that's why I don't donate money to anything.
I donate all the time.
Even Red Cross. Red Cross,
You feel like you're getting scammed.
Probably wrong that I don't donate to anything, but you never know where your money's going to anymore.
Oh, nowadays I even hear in those organizations, 90% of it goes to administrative fees. That's the employees, the people they pay out, the rent of the buildings, all that bullshit. 10% is actually donated to the cause, and it's sickening. It's a sickening feeling. I don't know.
It's a business. I mean,
everything's a business.
You need them to. I don't know if it's 90%. Where'd you get this 90% from?
I Googled it. Do the Googles.
Anyway. I hardly donate to anything anymore. And then
that's true though, 90%.
How about those homeless people on the corners? Do you ever give dollars to them? No, especially not the fat ones.
Well, the thing is,
the fat ones. I mean, it's one thing to be homeless and you're holding a sign and you're skinny and you look destitute, but there are some overweight.
They're eating better than you and me.
And it's like, that should just never happen. That shouldn't be allowed. If you're a certain weight, you shouldn't be allowed to
be begging.
They
eat better than you and me. But the other day, we passed by the Walmart. There was a woman there with a child, little infant, you know.
Oh, they use them.
Oh, it's horrible.
They use
it's a prop.
Kids, they use dogs.
It's like a prop.
Pets. I mean,
I can see the dogs, but you know what? If you're begging for money, that child should be taken from you. You know, protective services. It's horrible. I mean, that's how I feel. That's my 2 cents. No, but I'm being honest. I mean, when you think about it, think about this, George, when it comes to healthcare. We pay in, and when you go to the doctor, it's a fortune still with healthcare. It's a fortune. And these homeless fuckers, I bet they go, and everything's free. Like everything. It pays, once again, to not be that loyalty customer, but just switch, do nothing, have nothing, and everything's free. What's the incentive for them to get a job? To pay taxes? To actually have to pay for their food? Or medical? Well, I mean, is it really a mental case? I don't know. I have too much pride. Otherwise, I'd
have a better life, maybe. Because if I were homeless and begging on the street, I'm pretty sure the quality of life. I mean, for the majority of homeless people, it's probably not the best quality of life. There are people out there who do scam.
Right.
I mean, you just go on YouTube and look up guy in wheelchair scams.
Right. He's not really wheelchair bound. He's getting his money and then going to his Mercedes, to his $1 million home.
Right.
Cocksucker. No, I agree.
It's those people that ruin it for the real homeless people.
The people that are in real need.
Right.
And because of that, that's why you don't donate, because you're like, I'm not going to give it to that scammer. I would give it to the one that I knew was in need. But the problem is, you don't know. Now, there is one woman, I have to admit, I'm going to give a shout out to I don't know, what do I call her? She's got glasses. She is a black woman. But I'm not sure. I'm on the fence line. Is she a scammer or not? She's at the same intersection every week. She looks to be mental, but I don't know. Now, is she a good actress or is she really in need? She seems like she's there for years. Is it a good corner? Is she banking? Because now think about this, George. If she was there all the time, and she is, because I drive by that intersection all the time. Think about it. If she's not making money, she would have moved on. But she stays. And I do see people give her money. Is she mentally ill? Is she a scammer? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you're mentally ill and you can...
You got to be mental to be doing that. Year in, year out. I mean, come on.
Well, a little bit mental. But I think if you're actually genuinely mentally ill, you probably won't be able to hold a position either in a job or begging in the same spot all the time.
Because it's a job, right? It becomes a job.
Absolutely.
So you would say, your opinion would be, she's not mentally ill, because if you're mentally ill, you can't be there every day, because it's a 9-to-5 job. When the sun goes down, she disappears. Right. Where does she go? Where does she go?
No, that'd be a good thing to follow her.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to become investigators, because we might be over there with a camera and we'll air this the particular event. But it is interesting. I want to know where she goes when the sun goes down. Does she go to a shelter, or does she go to a $1 million home?
I don't have time to follow her.
Nah, I don't give it 2 shits either. But
we'll never know.
We'll never know. We'll be discussing this for years to come, but again, she's there all the time. only during daylight hours, and she disappears. You know what I'm saying? And is she mentally ill? Is she homeless? But she probably makes more than both of us put together. And I do see people give her money, tax-free. Interesting.
Well, how do you know she doesn't pay tax?
Well, I don't. Who would claim taxes on money given unless it's being reported? I would, because the IRS is listening, and I would definitely pay my taxes. But seriously, someone on the street at a corner getting dollars, who's paying taxes? Nobody really does that. And if she did, she would clearly be out of her mind. So what do we have? What's next on the agenda? First of all, let me ask you something. This is a good topic. When a celebrity does something good, why is it always in the media? Who reports it to the media?
That is an interesting
Think about it. Are they only doing this because they want the media exposure?
It's like suddenly there's a story. Like, is there?
How does that happen?
Is there just a reporter around the corner?
Who knows this? And if that's the case, are they only doing it for the exposure? And what are they truly doing? Like it's fake news, but why is it even newsworthy? If I give $1 to someone, I'm not recording it. You do it out of the good nature of your heart, right? Am I wrong?
Well, yeah.
Or do you only do it because someone's recording you to do it?
I think there are some cases where you're doing it because someone's recording.
Son of a bitch. By the way, Walking Dead does appear this Sunday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Oh, can't wait.
How is it? How is it these days? I haven't seen it in a while.
Fucking love it. I'm a Walking Dead fan from the start. Miss Rick, but apparently AMC is coming out with a 3-movie deal with Rick. So there'll be 3 movies. That's what a 3-picture deal means. But he's supposed to reunite with certain cast members somehow. I don't know how that's going to work out. But you know what? I'm going to be watching every step of the way. Can't wait.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
There are hardcore Walking Dead fans.
What's that?
There are hardcore Walking Dead fans.
Well, only the good ones.
I'll see it.
Oh, God, it's going to be amazing. You have to admit, that revolutionized TV, when it comes to, that's the first of its kind. A zombie apocalypse TV show. It's a first. No matter whether you love or hate it, you have to admit, that's the first of its kind. It's never happened. What? Name one.
Really?
Yes. I've been watching it for 10 years. And really, with all the space in between, it's probably been like 12 years, because it's like, the way they work.
Okay.
But think about it.
No, it was good. I liked it.
No, but can you think of another zombie apocalypse TV show?
No, I can't.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. I love the show. When Rick left, it did change. But it's still good. I mean, I have to admit, it did change.
I like apocalyptic shows, period.
Post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic.
I do like that, but I like the zombie effect. And I do like the fact that they're slow. The best movies these days with zombies, they're scary when they move so fast. But then it becomes too CGI. And fuck that. Use people and makeup. It looks so much better. It's just scary. You know what I mean? It's there. They're right there with them, I like it.
Yeah, that's good.
But Negan's the best character by far. I mean, he's funny, charismatic. He just, there's something about him. I'm a Negan lover. Yeah, do you watch the show still? You know who Beta is?
Well, no, I don't.
Oh, you're missing out, buddy. You're missing out.
No, I've watched it. I just don't remember who the names are. I'm not very good with names.
Ryan Hurst from...
That means nothing. I just told you I wasn't good with names.
I'm going to tell you who he is.
What is the character?
It's Beta is the character.
Beta
he's the big, tall zombie of the Whisperers.
He's not a zombie. He's the bearded guy.
Yeah.
That's not a zombie.
Right. He's Beta.
All right.
Okay. But he's fantastic in it. Doesn't say much, doesn't do much, but his presence is amazing. But that's the character. He's known in Sons of Anarchy. That was Opie.
Oh,
and he's also, Remember the Titans. He was Bertrand, I believe his name was. Bertrand. He was like the captain.
Too old for me.
Remember the Titans?
That's a long time ago.
Great movie, man. Great movie. But anyway, he's a great character in the show. Love to see him. His presence, him and Daryl fought a little good scene.
I actually liked Sons of Anarchy.
Fantastic show.
Not recently, but
I gotta rewatch it. Yeah.
Last year, I watched all of it, and I got hooked.
Great show.
It was great. It was a good show.
Did you ever get into the Mayans?
No. I started it, and it was like, I started comparing it to Sons of Anarchy.
It's just not the same.
It's not the same.
I never watched a single episode, and really, when it came to Sons of Anarchy, I got much like The Walking Dead. You get just involved with the characters, the actors.
Right.
They just win you over. And from the trailer, I didn't see a single character in the Mayans that it didn't appeal to me.
Well, I think I got burnt out. I mean, I watched episode after episode of Sons of Anarchy.
Great show.
And then I think towards the end, it was just about the right time where it ended. And then I couldn't start another one. I'm like, I think I'm burnt out on Motorcycle Gang.
Like Breaking Bad, Walter White. You just love the character, and then he just consumes you, and then the rest of the characters, it works.
I'm gonna let's look at Dan's reaction now when I tell him I haven't seen Breaking Bad. I have not seen Breaking Bad.
What do you say to that? What can you possibly say to that? It's shot time.
It's on my list.
It's shot time.
I will. No, it's not shot time.
This motherfucker has never watched Breaking Bad. How do you not see Breaking Bad? I'll just give you a half. Just a taste. I bought this bottle for you.
And just because I'm from Albuquerque.
How do you not see it? It's
I know.
They refuse to even say Walter White's dead out there. I mean, they refuse. I mean, I'm telling you, it's.
Oh well,
big time.
I think you just ruined the show for me.
No. What I'm saying is, Albuquerqueans, they refuse to admit that the show's over. They made a movie called something, I don't know, Breaking Bad movie, and they had obviously a spin-off all about Saul or Welcome Saul.
Yeah. So, yeah.
What Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul. And that actor's fantastic, by the way. Great actor. Yes, but no. The next show to binge watch, and I promise you on this.
Oh my God.
The next show to binge watch is Breaking Bad.
Yeah, no, I will.
Right.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know if it's on Netflix, but for sure it's well worth it.
Do you have the DVDs?
Yeah. I can lend it to you. Absolutely. That it's funny. People make fun of me for collecting and buying DVDs.
This guy has,
but it comes into when they need DVDs. Can I borrow some? Yeah.
This guy has a whole room full of DVDs. What is it? 3 bookshelves worth?
Keep going up, man. It's I'm hitting 5,000 DVDs.
It's a lot of DVDs in this guy's room.
I love
it's
it.
all in alphabetical order.
Because I'm a sick motherfucker.
Actually, very impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, but I collect. I bought 6 DVDs the other day. I bought this one called Frenzy, and I got it on the $3 shelf. And it's a shark movie. It was all right. It was pretty good. But this is the difference between the two: Jaws and Frenzy. Frenzy's all CGI, and Jaws, they had an actual shark. It was the mechanical shark called Bruce, and it's amazing in today's digital age that it's so much shittier looking than Jaws back in the 70s. You know what I'm trying to say? 50 years later, whatever it is, 40 years later, the movie's made. And it looks like shit. And the budget of Frenzy was probably more than what Steven Spielberg had back in the 70s. The budget. And it's all green screen, digital, and it looks like shit. But it was a decent movie. It's just visually. Yeah, it's not a bad story.
Good directing, you think?
It wasn't bad, but it just looks visually bad. Like, you could obviously tell it's digital sharks, and they're not there. It's silly. The chicks are hot, the story's okay, but it's just bad. And with the budget, if they just would have went with a mechanical shark and kind of had that... There's definitely a look to a movie when it's shot. And one looks just like cheesy, and one looks like it's like... There's just a value, a quality to it. And like Walking Dead, I think has a quality to the filmmaking. It looks good. And the fact that it's not all green screen, that there's actors in zombie makeup makes it look amazing. Right. And that's what I grew up with. That's why
I liked it.
That's what I grew up in, in the 80s when you saw a zombie movie. It's Dawn of the Dead in the mall back in the day. Or, there's actors in outfits and in costume and makeup. It looked amazing. And so anyway, that's the way but I'm a movie fanatic. I love them all. Did you see The Irishman yet?
I have not.
Motherfucker. People write into this guy. Tell him to watch The Irishman.
What is that? That's a movie? That's a recent
Did you just say, is that a movie? Holy shit. You see what I'm working with here, people?
Okay, so because you work at an actual movie theater.
I do not. I'm on Netflix. All right, Irishman's on Netflix.
Oh, no.
It's
How do you have time to watch these?
I watch everything. What else do I do? Okay.
Exactly.
What I'm trying to say is...
What else do you do?
It's like 3.5 hours long.
I wish I had the time that you have to be able to watch movies.
We're going to make time. The Irishman's like 3.5 hours long. It's directed by Martin Scorsese. It stars Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. It's got the Wolf. Harvey Keitel. Fantastic movie. I've been posting it on my social media for over a year.
I'm skeptical of your fantastic movies.
Oh my! It's fantastic, but it is. It's slow. But it's all story. It's very good, man. You gotta watch it, man. You gotta watch it. I recommend it for everybody out there, man.
You know how many things I have to watch now? So I have to watch Breaking Bad. I have to watch the new episodes of Walking Dead. I have to watch The Irishman.
Man, you better call into work for about a week. But you see, the thing is, when I watch movies, I literally binge, and I watch them all, and then I wait a little bit, and I watch it all again, and I watch it a third time, just to understand what I missed the first time, because a lot of times, I need to close caption everything I watch, because I'm deaf, and I don't even understand half the things that are going on, so I gotta watch and rewatch, and then read and watch, so it takes me a good 3 to 4 times to actually appreciate the movie. So I watched The Irishman at least 6 times already, and it's 3.5 hours long. But
it's crazy to me.
Now it's fantastic.
I don't even watch TV. I haven't even turned my TV on in the longest time. I don't know if it's probably not even plugged in. I watch a lot of YouTube. I just get on social media, but I'm busy with work or I got my wood shop.
What are you building now?
I've got some projects. I'm building some shelves. But I mean, it's amazing to me. I'm not really amazing, but I'm a little jealous that some people like you have time to watch some of these shows.
I think what it comes down to is priorities, but also I don't sleep a lot. So I watch a lot of stuff late at night, and I really only get 3 or 4 hours of good sleep a night, but
that can't be healthy.
No, I'll be dead in a few years, but I would have watched Breaking Bad.
But
You, on the other hand,
caught up with all your shows.
no, but you know,
on your
in
deathbed,
all
right?
honesty, I mean, I don't know
So
what people.
glad I saw that show.
But I will admit though, it's the small things in life that give you pleasure in a sense that whether it's love or friends or gambling or whatever, you have to, you know, get a little bit of joy every day. And so, but if you're hooked up into a show like Breaking Bad, if you really are into it, or Walking Dead, you're going to watch it every day. And within a week, you're done with the show because you binge watch and, you know, it gets crazy, but it's well worth it. And I'll tell you, you know, there's a lot of trivia about Breaking Bad, personal trivia in a sense. I'll tell you all about it after you watch. But again, it's so enjoyable. But when you get hooked into a show, then you're binge watching. You can't stop. It's an addiction like anything else.
I feel like I'm wasting. I mean, I like the shows.
You are wasting your
I like
life
the shows
away.
that I've binge watched because obviously I like them because I started binge watching them.
Sure.
But that whole time, I feel so unproductive. I feel like I could be doing something better.
But what else? What is better?
Forward. Well, do something towards getting what you want in life.
And this is where we different. This is where we're different because I'm like, I want the simple pleasures in life, and you want to.
But I hear you all the time saying, you know, you want to get rich, you want to,
of course.
you have money, you want to be able to do things you want. Well, you can't watch TV
And get rich.
and get rich.
But what if watching TV gives you ideas that will eventually roll over into something? But really, in all honesty, I can't be rich. If I was rich, I'd have AIDS by now. Because again, I know how to spend my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people that are not meant. There are not people that are not meant to be rich.
protecting yourself
I'm
by
protecting
watching
myself by
TV.
being broke. Yeah, you know what? You know what? It keeps me safe, keeps me sane, keeps me good on the fine and narrow. If I'm home in my own comfort of my own home, watching a movie, I'm safe. I'm not doing anything wrong. No one's gonna be mad at me. And you know what? I get a good night's sleep. I'm not drinking and driving because I'm drinking at home. I fall asleep. I get a good night's sleep. I wake up. I feel great. But when I'm out and about, man, the whole anything can happen to you at that stage. You know what I'm saying? It's actually the best thing in the world is to stay at home, have some cocktails. You know what I'm saying? Watch your favorite show.
Okay, well,
Hey, watch
so-
this
okay,
one.
so
Netflix and chill with
I
your
understand.
special.
Okay, so I understand your
Stay
point.
home.
I understand your point. But
Shit.
don't complain later saying,
I'm broke, bitch.
why am I broke? I'm tired of being broke.
Ah, never broke. Money comes and goes.
You always say that.
Well, that's true. It is true, though. Money comes and goes. You can always make money.
Yeah,
You
but-
can't make new memories.
I don't think you can always make money.
Always make money. Always have a job.
What kind of memories have you been making with your money?
Shh, look what I'm doing now. I bought this mic. My point is, money does come and go. Let's talk about money for one
Okay.
thing.
All right,
All
let's talk about money.
But let's. All right. We've both lost tons of money.
First of all, people say money can't buy happiness.
Really? Okay. Well, they're morons because they don't know. They don't have good friends. They don't have a good direction. No one's telling them what to do. But let me tell you, if I gave you 10 million, would you be happy?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So
Here's the thing: money buys freedom, and freedom is happiness.
That was beautiful. I have to take a moment there for
You know, it comes down to that.
money buys freedom. It's fuck you, right? The fuck you money.
It's a fuck you
When
money.
you have fuck you money, right?
You're happy.
Then you're happy. No one can tell you what to do. No one controls you. No one does anything. That was fucking
toast to
beautiful.
that.
That was a good quote. I'm putting that on a t-shirt. I might be wearing it next time. Right?
Yes, sir.
Money buys freedom, and freedom buys happiness, right?
Yes.
I like it.
Happiness.
That's a very good way to look at it.
In turn, money does buy happiness.
And what bothers me about that, in general, are these rich motherfucking people who wind up killing themselves. What's their reason? But, you know, again, fake news. We never know the real story.
Well, here's the thing. I think it even happens to people like us. We just get used to what our life is. So we're not rich by any means. I'm not rich by any means, but I get complacent and used to the things that we have.
Well,
And
sure.
we take it for granted. And it's all relative. Like a homeless person would look at us and go, how are you not happy with a place
Sure.
of your
It
own,
is-
a
it
roof
is
over your
relative.
head,
It is
a car
relative.
that starts. A while back, I took all these things for granted. Now, every day, almost every day, I'm actually consciously appreciative.
Are you grateful?
I'm grateful that my car starts.
No, I do
Because
understand that.
I've been in a position before, like, oh God, I hope my car starts today. But you know, I don't have a brand new car, but I don't have an old car, and I have a reliable car.
I get that.
And every day I start that car, and I'm so grateful that I have a car to drive to work.
I agree.
And that's just a simple thing.
But I
running water, food anytime we want
sure.
it.
Oh, we're.
A bed. I mean, all these things we daily take for electricity.
I honestly don't believe anyone in America should complain. I get that. But
I agree.
when it comes to people who are on paper or in reality or whatever, when they're worth multi-million dollars and they're unhappy and they're sad and they're like, boo-hoo, that bothers me because I'm like, they lost reality of what life could be.
Right.
Now, people at our level and below, somewhat a little above, I get it. I mean, I am extremely grateful.
There's nothing wrong with wanting more.
Exactly.
And wanting better.
But when you have everything,
when you have
don't bitch.
When you have the essentials, you really should be grateful.
Well, we have the essentials,
Right.
by all means.
It's not more.
only just
It's not
health, our friendship, and food, and like you said, the basic necessities. Where and I'm 48 years old. I'm extremely humble and happy that I have what I have. I get that, but my take is the millionaires and the billionaires that are real unhappy. That bothers me. Like, you motherfuckers, did you forget how much fucking anything costs? Like, do they even know what a fucking gallon of milk costs? They have no idea. Because if you were worth $1 billion, do you think you would know anything anymore? You would lose sight.
I don't know anything right now.
No, I guess I should reword it.
I don't know
should
anything.
reword it.
I don't know what a gallon of milk costs.
But I should reword that, because it's based on when you got that $1 billion. If you got $1 billion now,
From when you were born.
yeah. If you got $1 billion now, you know what things cost, and you might be a little frugal and go, because you never want to be where you're at now, right? Like, in all
For a
honesty,
little bit you will be.
yeah, and then you would lose focus.
You would lose focus, just as we have lost focus.
And I agree.
Now and then we complain. You go, this fucking phone, it's so slow.
Right.
And then it's like, wait a minute. First of all, the phone is just amazing in itself. And then having the internet, no matter how weak the signal is, we should be grateful just to have it, even if it is slow.
Absolutely. But I mean, when it comes to like actors and really, politicians and other people that have been in their industries, or people who've grown up literally billionaires, I mean, it's just that they live in a different planet. They're not. I don't even know why anyone listens to them, because they're not in the same world. That's the bottom. The truth of it. Paris Hilton, born rich, she's gonna die rich. She doesn't. Why does anyone ever listen to her? And she was huge back like 20 years ago.
Well, I haven't heard her name in a long time.
Forever. And I'm sure she matured and made her money with her sex tape and everything else. I mean, she was already a billionaire. And she's gonna, when her folks pass, I mean, she's only gonna be more rich. Paris, I love you, by the way.
Does she have kids?
I don't think so.
No.
We can get there. No, but the point is,
She'll just pass it on to her kids.
no, I know.
I'm sure
I mean,
she's
they
appreciative
will.
now. I mean, I haven't heard anything from her.
Well, she's older and more
she's
mature,
more mature
doubt.
now, and
Absolutely. But I'm just saying, it's like, I don't think people. All right, Robin Williams. I heard he had a sickness, had an illness.
Yeah, he had the Parkinson's.
Yeah, but to off himself, that's very sad. I was a huge fan.
I almost feel like I understand him. There's a saying where even if you're rich, money isn't everything if you don't have your health.
Health is everything.
So his health was going down.
Sure.
So let's say
wanna
you
be a
have
burden.
all the money in the world. You used to be famous. Everyone looked at you. Everyone looked up to you. Even, let's say, your wife or your girlfriend, whoever.
Sure.
But suddenly you have Parkinson's. There's nothing you can do about it.
I know.
You're shaking. You're uncontrollably, your body's uncontrollably doing this thing.
Fucking sad.
All your life, you've had all this attention, and you've had all this normal life. You've had great health, this normal body. All of a sudden, your health went down. No one pays attention to you.
Yeah,
In fact, you probably don't even feel loved anymore.
Sure.
But you're shaking. You're constantly shaking
I get it. Or maybe he offed himself before it got to that level because he knew what was going to come.
because you knew it was going to come.
get it. I mean, I'm not
I
saying.
understand a little bit. I don't, man. Suicide is kind of like a touchy thing with me, because I almost feel like if someone wanted to commit suicide, I'm probably not the best person to talk them out of it.
You'd be like, yeah, go for it.
Well, I wouldn't encourage them either, but
But you wouldn't talk him out of it.
there's no them convincing me that they shouldn't do it.
Right. You wouldn't be a good hostage negotiator because you'd be like,
Not hostage. I wouldn't be a
But
good
you know what I'm
suicide
saying.
negotiator.
Oh, suicide. You don't want to be on the suicide hotline?
Yeah.
You'd be like, well, fucking do it.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say, so
You wouldn't say do it. You'd
wouldn't
say,
say-
well,
I wouldn't say do it.
after listening to them, you'd be like, well, I understand your case. Go for it.
But here's the thing. I almost want to call these suicide hotlines, and I'm curious what they say. What if I talk
Wow.
to them and say, you know what? I don't have any family. I have a shitty job. I have this shitty life. What are they saying? What do they say? What did they say to that? I'm curious of what they say to that.
Wow.
I can think of what
I
they
could
could
be
say.
I could be that.
Their
person.
generic saying is, you have so much to live for. People love
Life
you.
gets better.
Life gets better. There's nothing worth killing yourself. Well, if you have a life
Wow.
of just shit,
Well, I understand where you're coming from. When life, we all know it's finite. It's going to end. So anybody that wants to end it on their terms, so be it. But at the same time, I mean, I'm not looking forward to that time for myself, whether natural or not. But it's fucked up, man, when you think about it. Because like I don't know what's in the afterlife. I don't really think I even believe in that. I think we're topsoil. We could become
Well,
part of the earth, and that's it.
I mean, I think it's just safe to say that if there is an afterlife, then great. But why don't we just all assume that there isn't one, so that we
religious
can
folks.
live our life to the fullest, so that we can appreciate this life.
Well, I agree. I wish, the entire world was from Vulcan, like Spock, who thought, objectively and with
Yeah,
everything was
what are you trying to get
objective,
at?
no feeling, no emotion.
Yeah, logical.
Logical. Everything was logical.
Everything was logical.
Do you realize if this world, if all people thought logically and objectively, this world would be a better place. Without doubt, without question. If you remove religion from the world, from groups of people, and everyone thought logically and objectively, right? Without emotion, this world would be a better place. There's no...
Well, that's kind of like an oxymoron.
How so?
Because how would you know it's a better place?
It would be.
If you don't know if you don't care about...
Take emotion out of it.
If you don't have emotion to have the highs and lows, it's kind of like...
What is highs and lows, though?
It's kind of like that movie with Eddie Murphy. If there's no bad, I don't want to be good. What does he say?
Which movie is that?
Something like that. Anyway.
Are you even drunk?
Yeah, I'm a little drunk. I guess my point is, we won't know how good we have it if we've never been to a bad place.
I agree.
If we don't have anything to compare it to,
sure, I agree with
we
that.
really won't know. So if we're logical the whole time and there's no emotion, there's no point. There's no point in life. You're just then.
I disagree, but I do think if you take the emotion out of the equation, if you take and you make it more objective, factual with logic, if you take religion out and go with more science and fact, it would be a better place. The problem with society is we're all emotional.
You said yourself you get enjoyment from playing roulette.
Absolutely, it's not logical.
Logically,
I didn't say it's
logically,
good.
You shouldn't play roulette. So
well,
if you were logical, you wouldn't be playing roulette.
But if that's what I'm saying, if we took the emotion out of the equation, if I didn't get my highs and lows from wins and losses, I wouldn't play the game.
You wouldn't play the game.
But I do agree with the fact that as a human being, we are illogical. Because I play a game like that, it becomes subjective. It becomes emotional. But if, in all honesty, if you
life is life better? You think life would be better without roulette?
I think life would be better if all humankind was logical and we saw things being more objective, logical, removed emotion. I think the overall world would be better. I think if we were Vulcan, we would be better. I honestly believe.
Well, I honestly don't think you would notice. You wouldn't notice if you were better.
How about this one? If men only fucked to procreate, to have babies, and didn't fuck just because we want to get off, would this be a better world? If the human being, the man species, or the man, only fuck to have babies. Think about this. Would this not be a better world?
That question in itself.
I would kill myself already. But I mean,
that's what I'm saying. This world would totally not be a better place.
No. All crime, everything negative in this world is because a guy wants to fuck a chick. They want to make money to fuck a chick. They want to have stature in life to get a chick. They want the car, the house, the money, the drugs, whatever it is, because they want to get laid. If you remove that, I do believe this would be a different world. I actually believe that.
It totally would be a different world. I don't necessarily think it would be a better world.
Well, if you take out the emotion, you take out the feeling of lust and just want to pop your rocks off on, it would be a different world. But I think the world would be a better place. Like people sell drugs to make money. Okay, they want to make money to get the chicks.
In logical.
What about Vulcan?
Okay, so logically, it would be a better place. Like, it just would be a quote unquote better place to live.
I think so.
But here's the thing. People wouldn't know it. If you take emotion out of everything and you just think logically and you just did what you're supposed to do, we would...
Yeah, we'd go to work, we'd come home and do our thing.
We would be ants traveling along the same line, going back and forth, and that's like the shittiest life.
Well, I agree to a point. There would be like no real... Well, there would be like no real meaning of life. Every individual will have their role in the overall greater good of mankind.
I think life is good because we have emotion, and we know we've experienced bad. So the good, which for the most part of our life is good, I think we are happy because we are experiencing the goodness of life.
Like I said, there's good and bad of everything. I mean, there's pros and cons, but I do believe in that aspect of if we were Vulcans, that we lived our life of logic without emotion and objectively, there would be a better world. Would individuals be happier? There wouldn't be much excitement in life. I mean, we would be born. We'd live a life of logic and reason, and we would die. I don't know about much excitement. Well, I'm not saying it's exciting, but I do think it would be a safer world where there'd be less conflict. There would be less, but again, there's less fun. There's less excitement. There's, there wouldn't be the games of chance. There wouldn't be, there really wouldn't be even whores. There'd be no reason for them because there's no reason. There'd be no logic to that. They'd be like, no, I'll find a mate and we will procreate, and that's it. People wouldn't even be fucking for fun. There'd be no porn. I mean, there wouldn't be any of that because it wouldn't be logical.
So do you think that's better?
Well, individually, for my own sake, I would say I would be bored in a world like that. But if all humankind if it was like that, I would maybe be happier with less shootings and stabbings and killings and drug overdose and poverty and homelessness. And I mean, the list goes on and on. Like if I had to sacrifice my own vices in life, if that's what you want to call it, or something for humanity to move forward in a better way, I'd be okay with it. But yet, if I was living in that world, I would be a little bored because there'd be no reason to do anything. But yet, maybe your new reason would be to advance, humankind. It would be a different world. There would be no gambling or excitement. You wouldn't have alcohol. There'd be no reason for it. So I'm not saying I would get rid of all of that. However, I do think the world would be a better place. I really believe that.
Yeah, in technical terms, it would be a better place.
Well, there you go. So
technically, it would be better.
I would think so too.
But I mean, as far
it wouldn't
as
be fun
humanly and emotionally,
we'd probably progress. We'd be 1,000 years ahead of our time.
Absolutely, we'd probably be in space, living in space or whatever.
But we would be productive. Because logically, that would make more sense to be more productive.
I go back to the ant theory.
It wouldn't be fun.
Ants go into they go into a straight line, go to the food, take the food back to the hive or whatever nest or whatever it is, and they go back and forth. And they have a perfect logical world.
Sure.
What kind of life is that?
Well, I'm not denying that life would be boring, but it would be safer, it would probably be better, and it would probably progress humankind quicker. But that just makes more sense. I'm not denying that it wouldn't be fun, it wouldn't be exciting, it would make sense. Like there are things that happen in our world that just doesn't even make sense. How people snap or thing, I don't know, it's just crazy talk. Like, literally every day I wake up, I get in the shower, and I think, is today the day that it ends? That's how I wake up every day.
That's kind of sad.
Well, it's morbid.
Because, I mean, if it's going to end...
But is it not the truth?
If it's going to end, it's going to end anyway. So don't even think about it. Just think about...
That's a logical way of looking at it, and that would be better.
Is it?
It is logical.
I don't think that is logical.
I think it's very logical. I'm subjective, being my emotion kicks in. I'm like, it's today the day I get it. It's today I lose it. Do I get shot today? Do I get killed today?
But most likely, you're not going to get killed.
How do you know that in this day and age?
Most likely, statistically, for the whole entire...
Where do you get those statistics from?
No, I'm just saying, statistically, right now, you're 47, 48?
48. I could have a heart attack right now as we're talking.
I'm just saying, statistically, from the time you were born to now, nothing bad has really happened to you. You're still alive. So
I could have died many times.
Logically, why would you be in fear this whole time? You shouldn't be fearing anymore.
I don't know about if it's being in fear or just accepting reality. Like every time you step out your doors, it could be the last time you that's it.
That's true.
But when is your time up?
Well, who knows? But you shouldn't wallow in it. You shouldn't.
I don't want to focus on it.
You shouldn't focus on it.
Yeah. But it could be a reality.
Okay.
With all the problems in today's world.
Of course. It could always be a reality. Death can always be a reality.
You got to be prepared. But I do agree. I'm just saying that I do believe in a world of Vulcans. I do believe
You're obsessed with the Vulcans.
I do. Well, I am obsessed with it because I do believe that's a better
race.
Yeah, without doubt.
I think you would have done well into the Nazi.
No, but seriously, think about this though. With logic, remove emotion, be logical, objective, remove all of that bullshit from life.
Basically, you're an ant.
I am an ant.
No, I'm just saying you're not.
I would be an ant.
You would be an ant.
And that's fine because I feel like I am. In many sorts, that's my, I go to a job, I provide a function, I come home, I do my basic necessities, I go to sleep, I wake up, and that's that ant lifestyle. I totally get it. But what I'm saying is, when you remove emotion from the equation, I think the world will be a better place. Just think about this, take away mental illness. How much happier is the world? Right away. If there was a pill that you can take, and anyone with a mental illness, it just kind of went away. Would this place be a better world? How could it not?
Logically, yes, it would be a better
Logically, it would. And so, if
that's funny. That reminds me of a thought I had where all these parents saying, "Oh, when their child is born with a mental disability, and they publicly say, "Oh, I wouldn't have it any other way. I love him no matter."
Yeah, lying bitches.
I feel like they are lying.
How are they not lying? Nobody wants that.
Like everyone who has a mentally disabled or physically disabled child or something wrong with their child, I feel like they're lying when they say that they're blessed with a kid.
Gifted.
Oh, they're gifted. They can't see them with any other
with anyone else. But let's put our cards on the table. You say that because you don't want to sound so cruel. You wouldn't come out and say, I can't believe I want to get rid of this baby. He's got a mental illness. He's got a brain function, whatever. You have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the only respectable thing to do.
Right.
But when those same parents go home, they're crying to each other.
Oh, why did this happen to me?
Why did it happen? Why does God hate me? Bunch of bullshit. But that's what you get. You want to have a kid, you roll the dice, you get a bad one. Not everyone can be perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the bottom line. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, when they come out with that bullshit, it pisses me off too. It's like, but I don't think any kid is normal these days. Everyone's fucked up. We just now, I don't know, figuring it out. I mean, what is normal anymore anyway?
I think because of social media and the news, the more sensational things that you see are bad. Most of it is bad because that's what makes news. I mean, we've talked about this before.
Sure.
That just normal. It's kind of like when you're driving to work, right? You're driving to work, you're passing all these cars, or you're in traffic with all these cars. Every day, you're surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of cars.
Sure.
Once in a while, if not at all, you run into an accident. Or once in a while, you run into an asshole that cuts you off. Once in a while. So relative to the amount of days you go by without anything happening, all those hundreds of cars you pass by, you don't think about. But that's life. Sure. Everything is just normal. Everything around you is just normal. Every now and then, you run into
a hurdle.
You run into a hurdle. You run into an asshole that cuts you off. You run into...
And then we generalize and say they're all assholes.
Exactly.
Right, absolutely.
Exactly.
I agree.
For the most part, I think the world is good and the world is normal.
He stepped on a toe. He stepped on something. He says, generally, the world is good.
Yeah.
I honestly believe, generally, the world is not so good. So we have a debate coming.
Okay. Well, do you agree with what I just said?
I do agree.
When you go to work, you pass by hundreds of cars and nothing happens. And that is life.
No, that's true. That's true. You stepped on a toe popper, though.
Every day, 365 days a year, maybe 10, 11...
Sure.
20 of those days,
small percentage on the road
might be a bad day.
On the road, I would give you that.
So, like,
you scored 1 point.
With that math, the majority of those days, the majority of your life in 1 year is good.
But do you honestly believe the majority of people are good?
Absolutely.
Okay, if people are not in your inner circle, which is your family, your close friends, and maybe a small percentage of your coworkers, would you then say they're still good?
Yes.
And how so? How would you define goodness in others?
Well, for one, nothing bad happens. They don't do anything bad to you. Okay. You don't see them doing anything bad to anyone.
This is my difference.
Once in a while, you'll see someone do something bad. But for the most part, every day, you go by every day without anything bad happening.
Okay, because you nailed it. What I want to say though, in contrary, this is how I feel. When the shit hits the fan, people are going to care about their own. Okay, and what I mean by that is...
And that's understandable.
When the shit hits the fan, when the zombies come, and they will come, okay, you cannot feed everybody. You're going to look to yourselves, okay, number one. Number two, people care until there's a tragedy, and then they will help, as long as that camera's filming them and they get some kind of, publicity from it, a little selfie. But I do feel when there's a tragedy that's out of everyone's concern, and they're going to focus on their immediate family, their close friends, and maybe a circle.
Okay.
And that's okay.
And
but what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't.
But there's also a huge population of people that take advantage. They show the fake news. They're scammers. They're con artists. They're working the system. Overwhelmingly, that shows that not all humanity is perfect, So
with that,
I'm gonna take a quick break. We're gonna take a quick.
Well, actually, that's pretty much
the end of this.
That's
already?
the end. Tune in next time for a show here at Unfiltered with Dan and George with Unfiltered with DNG. We will see you next time.
I'm gonna tune in next time. I'm gonna finish this thought that I have.
Yes,
but until
absolutely.
then, take care. Be kind.
Bye.